Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Quarbit, and I will be your host today for Europa Universalis 4 as we head into episode 33 of our Prussia to Germany Let's Play for an early Reich achievement, where today I believe we'll be fighting Würzburg for a little bit of their land. I was thinking Hessen, because I very much do need their land. Like, I kind of like really need their land. I also need Frankfurt. Of course, we fought Frankfurt like 16 billion times. I do need to annex them at some point. Unfortunately, since I'm no longer the Emperor, I can't willy-nilly just annex anything with any distance anymore. If it's in the HRE, I do have to actually have a border with things now. But anyways, we're going to bring in whatever allies we can. And we're going to start a big old war here with Würzburg. Of course, we're going to start off with their capital. We're gonna give it 1 day because I have to remember who's actually gonna be in this war. So everyone joined in. We do have a solid 70,000 versus our troops, but we should be absolutely okay. He'll go into Nassau. We're also fighting the Palatinate, who happens to be right here. So we're gonna take their fort and move on from there. Actually, I'm wondering if maybe you should deal with Saxe-Lauenburg first. Saxe-Lauenburg happens to be up towards the north and could pose a couple of issues for me as I try to do my thing here. As I try to very quickly siege down the capitals of some of the extra nations. Ooh, you are speedy, aren't you? Not speedy enough, though. Not quite speedy enough. These sieges are doing fine so far. We could hire some Ottoman officers. That is, to some degree, actually worth the money. That is interesting to consider. It's an extra 5%. 5% does mean quite a bit, and the Ottomans don't like me in the first place. I'm just wondering, am I willing to go into debt right now? The answer to that might be yes, because of my rather strong economy. But another answer might actually be no. It really depends on how manufactories goes. I am willing to take this wager, though. I think I'll take this. And the wager I just took there is basically, if it starts in Berlin, if manufactories, of course, starts in Berlin, it will spread rather quickly throughout these provinces. I don't remember what the actual spread there is. I don't remember what the actual, what's it called is. I'm assuming it has to deal, of course, with having a manufactory or like some sort of textile stuff like that built in there. Is really what that's all about. So I'm assuming that's going to spread relatively fast. And hopefully in that time I can rebuild my economy to make sure I can actually take that institution when I need it. So that's the gamble I've taken. If it doesn't spawn in Berlin, then we might have to actually wait a while before we can take what we need here. Let's go and fight you down here. Yeah, you're locked in now. There's nothing you can do. We'll block you across here. Make sure you don't get involved. Are you really going to try and walk in there? Yes, you are. Okay. Well, I'll catch you real quick, because why not? And then we'll head into... Oh, wow. You guys really are using your force march, aren't you? That's weird. I don't usually see the AI use force march when they're not trying to defend an ally. So, I find that a little odd. You guys are just using it to get around for the fun of it. You know, you do you. I'm not going to judge. I'm just a little confused. And just a tad bit. Just a little. Alright, so the next question we have to ask ourselves is, we are back on the conquering schedule, because we're back in style with the admin tech. Our ideas, they can wait. They can wait a little while, because they don't matter that much. Another thing that was brought to my attention is our very, very big lack of absolutism this run, which makes me sad, because I completely forgot about it, and I feel upset because I can't believe I forgot about something so important. So, there are a couple ways we can do this whole thing. I was thinking going the route of taking a whole bunch of land, it raises a bunch of rebels, and then we just use harsh treatment pretty much. But that doesn't quite work out as well as I usually like it to, especially in tandem with army professionalism. Another thing we can do, of course, is, well, I guess take a bunch of land and decrease autonomy. That is usually how it goes. Various things you can do. I just feel, I'm so late to the game already, it makes me a little sad. Okay, we'll figure something out. I'm sure we'll figure something out. Absolutism is generally used Well, I mean, right now, absolutism isn't entirely super important. The reason is because our discipline is fine. Absolutism also does give you admin efficiency, so that is true. Okay, I can't dismiss that. But admin efficiency is typically very useful for taking lots of land. We are still in the HRE though, so we're gonna see how much of an effect that'll actually have on us. Depends on if I'm gonna go absolutely all the way, you know, just go and crush as many nations as possible in the smallest possible amount of time, or if I'm going to, I guess, take it a little slow. We'll see. I feel like I can go the fast route, which just means we literally core as much as we possibly can in the fastest amount of time. Oh, you sieged that fort back a little fast. That's not very comfortable. I don't like that. But yeah, anyways, phase 1 of my plan here. Seeing as people don't like me, that doesn't matter anymore. Aggressive expansion within the HRE is a simple number. 191, 202, you're 222. I mean, come on, it's really not that bad. As long as Spain doesn't hate me, I'm okay with this. So I was thinking, we're actually going to do quite a bit of stealing here. Stealing of stuff. Yeah, I know, that's right, I'm a thief. I'm going to take a lot of this land, which does not belong in any capacity, under claims or otherwise, to me. But I'll do it just because I want to. And I don't think anyone can really stop me at this point, so that's the best part of it. Am I fighting Trier? I'm not. I am fighting Lorraine, though. Ooh, can I move here? No, I can't. Okay. Ooh, army tradition. For a little bit of loyalty that I don't like, that's losing army tradition. I don't like to lose army tradition, especially when we have so much, but gaining 15 would be a waste. I hate to do that, but I do have to do that. That sucks. You can ask for money, of course. Okay, you know what? That does solve my problems. Okay. Maybe I should have checked if I could ask for money before, you know, going into debt, but let's disregard that for now. France is getting very close to finishing off Brittany over here. I was just wondering if I could give a bit of that to France. I was just wondering, you know, just a little. I think they'd be okay with that. I think I'll just grant these to France once this is over. Or maybe I won't. No, actually, I have another idea. I have a better idea. I have a better idea, which is evil and disgusting, and I'm actually a really big fan of it, I'm not gonna lie. So my big evil plan here is, I'll take those, thank you. You see, unfortunately, France, although you do have claims in these provinces, unfortunately, you are no longer powerful enough to stop me from taking these, and they happen to have direct claims next to Britain here. I'm pointing out a couple of facts that I'm looking at here. I'm just saying I could dismantle Great Britain, okay? I'm just saying I could very early in the game dismantle them so that they're not a problem later on. That sounds like a good idea to me. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll find out if I actually go ahead and make the move there. I honestly do think I'm going to. That's like a solid move to make. And it's just really unlucky for both Brittany and Britain that they're in such a sad position there. Britain is absolutely at the mercy of whether or not a minor nation is going to get directly annexed by me. So I guess it's just unfortunate for everyone involved except for my alliance, which is nice. Okay, Brittany's actually at low now, so I will go ahead and take this. Aggressive expansion means absolutely nothing to me at this point. I'm going to play the game as if aggressive expansion does not exist. Hopefully you guys are okay with that, because that's just how it's going to be. So despite the disgusting amount of points it's going to cost for all of these, I'm still going to go ahead with them, because these are opportunities I absolutely just cannot give up. Alrighty then. Oh, I didn't take that. Come on, 49%? No, not quite. What else am I missing here? Saxe-Lauenburg. Okay, I was also considering taking you. I think I do have a claim. I don't have a claim there. Really? Interesting. Very interesting. Taking it anyway, but like, that's cool. Yeah, so the amount of overextension, the amount of stuff we're taking in this war is going to be rather spicy, I have to say. If I can stay under 100% overextension, I will take it. That's the point in the game that we're at right now. And I couldn't be happier about it. Getting that Sweden PU really just solidified the whole thing. It made me wake up and I was like, you know what? I could do a lot more than I'm doing right now. I need to wake up, smell the roses, and take over half of Germany in the next 30 years. Which, I don't know if that's really going to happen. That was just something random to say to make it sound cool. But anyways, Nassau, I could take that actually. Let me actually look at what I'm supposed to take here. So I was thinking of taking these 3 provinces. Oh, that's actually a lot of overextension. 38.5 means I can afford a solid, let's do the math here. So 1.5 brings me up to 40, so 61.5 is a nice number that we can look at. Würzburg is unfortunately a little big there. I don't know if I need Würzburg. I don't. I don't right now. I don't want to go over 100. But it really wouldn't be the worst thing I've done. Maybe I will. Maybe I will, just because I can. And I have strong allies, I have a strong power and, monetary manpower base. The only problem is the admin, and how long it's going to take to core everything. I'm only making 11 admin a month. These things are going to cost hundreds to core. And that's one of the main things that admin efficiency is used for, and I've been slacking a little bit on. So maybe just to make up for the fact that I haven't been keeping up with my admin efficiency, I take a lot right now, and then try and boost up as much admin efficiency as I possibly can through ways that I will show you guys what I'm doing after I go through the whole process. But essentially, I think I will use this to my advantage. Okay, so first of all, Lodan. Nothing too special, nothing spicy we can do here. We'll just tell you to, I don't know, please leave. I don't care, right? Now let's go with that. Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you, Lodan, for your money, and we'll be moving on. Can do this actually. Oh, can we? Oh no, we don't have a diplomat. There we go. Okay, so the Palatinate. I was still thinking this. It's a little bit extra here, but honestly, we've gone above and beyond at this point. We've gone a little bit over. I'm still kind of willing to do this though. The problem is, well, actually, these 2 cores are just 144 in total. The Nassau core is 58, a little bit big. And the 225 here for the Würzburg cores. Well, these are really, really good cores, though. Look at that. That's a 20, that's a 30. Ooh, that is some spicy dev. Okay, I kind of see the point now. I think I will still take these. I'm going to choke it all down, I think. I'm second-guessing myself a whole bunch now. I think I'm still gonna do it. I mean, people can't join a coalition if they're dead, right? That's like a solid philosophy. And I just got demonetized for saying that we're dead, probably. Yikes. Anyway. You can't join a coalition if you no longer have a state to join the coalition with. And then finally, we're going to pull the final act of betrayal. Actually, oh, that's way too much. Look at that, 73% on top. The question is, I'm pretty sure once you hit over 100, you're over 100, that's it. You don't get any lucky breaks there, that's just how it is. I don't think being 150 or 100% matters as much as, say, the difference between 100 and 200. I can't really be sure about that, though. I'm not the expert on aggressive expansion, so... or overextension, sorry. So 78, technically, if we wanted to stay under 100, we need something like 21.3, is I think the number that's there. Technically, we could do that with a single province, or maybe 2. Say 21.3, that is the correct number. I could go with the full annexation, though. Which would just be, that would be disgusting. This would be playing with fire, absolutely. But I feel the need to do it. I absolutely feel the need to do it, though. Great Britain is already upset with what I've done here. I mean, I've angered all of Europe. Do I want to anger any more of Europe? Oh, that's really dangerous what I'm doing here. Okay, let's tone it back a second here, actually. Let's stop my little rampage of being absolutely tyrannical. Give ourselves a second to breathe. Just breathe for a second. I can't remember if leasing a nation actually does anything positive for you. It really doesn't, so I was just making sure. Okay, well, we've done a lot of annexing today. I think it's time to take a break for ourselves. We have angered a large portion of Europe in approximately 3 years. We'll see how this whole thing goes down. We have a lot of cores to start going through. Let's start with the highest overextension, just to go down that list. And we'll slowly work our way over time. Now, the thing I was trying to do here, and I'm hoping it's working, is see our national unrest here? The thing is, I'm actually going to take this button. And you guys are maybe going to be surprised about that. But the reason is because usually you get some really solid rebels here. Where are they? Not Swedish particularists, but you do often get particularists. Those are the ones that like autonomy, okay? So basically, you often want to bite the prestige bullet, and being at low absolutism is absolutely perfect for this. That's where you want to be, because it will give every single one of your states, I believe, all of your states will gain high autonomy. Of course, you just go down this list and delete it back down. That's what I'm hoping for. That is the goal here. Of course, you can't really do that while you're at war, which is one of the big things, one of the big reasons I didn't do it yet. But basically, what I'm hoping is for something like that to happen. Of course, we'll do a little more conversion here. If there's a coalition growing here, I mean, Austria, obviously they are not a fan of what's been going on here. I think they still have a strategic reason to be my ally. Okay, Cleves joined the coalition. The coalition might actually begin making its rounds. If that's the case, what we're going to do is start swapping some things over. So I'm playing with fire. I'm just going to make sure I don't entirely get burned here. There you go. So the coalition's going to build its way up. Honestly, at this point, I'd like to see them try. Unless Great Britain joins, that'll be annoying. I don't know if they will. Because if we can do this strategically, we just need to wait until January 1st. January 1st, we'll keep Britain out of this. We'll see if that happens. Let's not get too excited. Okay, we're good. Oh, and I didn't get many factories. That is so unlucky. Where did that spawn? Where did many factories spawn? Oh, you're joking? Really? In Augsburg? Ooh, that is really unlucky for me. God damn. I was hoping to get at least one institution this game. It looks like the Enlightenment might have a chance at that. It's not entirely very likely, though. It's a maybe. It's a maybe sort of situation. But yeah, let's take a look at our rebels. Hopefully we get the ones we want here. Yeah, Brandenburgian particularist. 45 provinces you see here. So you see, accept demands. The burghers do get a lot of influence, but don't worry, we are below that threshold, so we're fine. Absolutism decreases by 10, that is something you have to keep in mind. Prestige goes down by 20, prestige is trivial, we gained like 50 in the last war, and we can do it again, no problem. Oh man, I'm just sitting here hoping it works. It's one of the least painful ways to do it. It'll hurt your economy, of course, you can't just sit back and pretend it won't hurt your economy, that is just a fact. Really what you're hoping for is it'll boost your absolutism, absolutely skyrocket it to a certain degree. Now, the higher your development that you decrease, it's also the higher your absolutism goes, so having high value states is something you want to do. That's why I was kind of thinking of stating Malopolska. because being a half state, I think decreases autonomy down to 50%. I'm going to state it in the future, so I'm just going to, yeah, I'll just have to check that real quick. I'm not going to state them right now, or like full state, full core or whatever. I just wanted to make sure that does decrease it, and may actually include them. No, they're not particularists right now. I suppose they have to have no separatism for that. That's okay. But basically, here comes the whole thing. Where are you? You guys. Where are my particularists? Oh, did I accidentally get rid of them? Hold on. Might have accidentally gotten rid of them. That'd be embarrassing. Here they are. Okay. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, so we kind of need at least one province to have it. We'll accept the demands. Okay. Autonomy goes up across the board. You'll see our economy just hits rock bottom. It just plummets, okay? We head over here, look at all these juicy provinces to decrease the autonomy in, and you just keep going down the whole thing. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, that's how the game plays. One of the least painful ways to go through the whole absolutism process, or at least kickstart it, is in this fashion. You will have to, of course, be careful about your economy, be careful about your troops, be careful about your enemies, because it's not going to be a pleasant time with all the revolts you may or may not end up having. We'll even decrease that just for the fun of it. So now we have a total of 30, very spicy, and that decreased to our overextension, give it a second, 73. Nice. We might have been able to take an extra province here if I'd done that earlier. Basically, these things are going to cost a little less, and I feel kind of dumb for spending it beforehand, before actually courting it. That was my own mishap. That was my own problem. So that was a bit of an oops there. But if you do it correctly, then you won't make that mistake. Basically, you want to increase absolutism as much as you can, and then, of course, you want to start coring things just to save yourself a little bit more admin. In the end, I did save myself maybe, I'd say like 20% of the admin I'm spending on the rest of these, well, not quite 20%. I'd say maybe 12% on the rest of these cores. Nothing to write home about, nothing too special. But in the future, it'll be rather helpful. There you go. That was your mini absolutism guide. Whether you wanted it or not, there it is. That's basically how we're gonna do things. So even though there are some rather upset countries, Spain, of course, is part of that. I don't know, will they join the coalition? They might. There's a chance of it. There's a chance. I'd say the chance of a coalition declaring war in the next 3 years. That's really hard to tell, actually. A lot of these nations are having a hard time here. Spain, I imagine, is actually having a really good time. It is, of course, the golden century for Spain. Look at all that gold they're getting here. But it's also my, well, not quite golden era, but rather nice time for me as well, as I continue my conquests of the good old Holy Roman Empire here. Now consisting of 23 princes, not quite as much as there used to be. And our little truce is coming up here with Denmark, which will be nice. I'm hoping by then people will calm down a little bit. Hopefully we can use that war to grab Holstein that I've really wanted for a long time, but haven't really been able to grab. I've really wanted that. Holstein is pretty much a third, well, I wouldn't say a third, maybe about a quarter of what Denmark holds in Lübeck. I would very much like to have that. Next, we get our very special government reform. It's the last one on the list, of course. We're not becoming a republic. We are not becoming a theocracy. We get to choose between a free admin or yearly absolutism and max absolutism. Well, if we check our absolutism, we're only at 98. 98, it's great and all that. Actually, will that be able to bring me... we might be able to reach 100. But legitimacy does fluctuate, and having a fluctuating cap of your absolutism is not very much fun. There's also the fact that, of course, yearly absolutism is rather useful. That does carry on for the rest of the game, so I'm just saying it is one of probably the better option to take. I think you get to choose between saving yourself 1 admin per month for the entire game, pretty good, or just get yourself more absolutism rolling from the early game, which is equally as good depending on how you use it. Especially the cap. 100 is the hard cap, 103 is our soft cap, so we don't get anything past 100, but we do get a little bit of liability, not liability, a little bit of insurance with our legitimacy here. Legitimacy, of course, can drop drastically if you have a bad air, which can hurt our absolutism, but we get a little more leniency with the +5 there. So we get that max, of course. 100 legitimacy will bring us to 100. That's, you know, usually a goal to have, is to be able to get to the soft cap, or the hard cap, sorry. Anyways, time for me to start speaking English instead of the alien EU4 language that I'm sure not everyone likes to speak all the time. So, who would be our next target of expansion? Of course, in the next... I'd say let's go for 1653. I was thinking Denmark looked pretty tasty recently. Especially with that no longer being friends with Sweden, and Sweden definitely being very good friends with me now. Yes, that does change things quite a bit here. I was also thinking we should do an early dismantle on the Ottomans if we could. That might end up being a good idea. The Ottomans, of course, do have a fairly solid level or number of allies, but they're not quite as far as they could have expanded. We're gonna try and block that off. Block off Ottoman expansion. It really does... Oh, you're no longer allied with... no longer allied with Austria. That does change the game quite a bit, actually. Hungary might be on the menu once again, might be back on the menu. As we try and take these provinces first of all, and second of all, if we can snake our way around here, block off the Ottoman expansion here, head down to Croatia. They don't have very many allies, of course. In fact, it's just Würzburg, who is a little bit hurt currently. I was thinking it's entirely possible for us to block off Ottoman expansion, of course, unless they try to go into Italy. It's an opportunity. They could do it if they wanted to. I kind of forgot Naples was my ally, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot I expanded my little royal family over here. Now I was thinking, do I want prestige again? Prestige is very, very nice, but the admin? Oh, the admin could be so much better, though. 10 years, 10 years, this is also 10 years. But that's going to be 10 years as in January, and this is 10 years June. So let's give it a couple more days, a couple more months even, if I could. Would be appreciated. It'd be very nice. Okay, we're going to go with this top one for the admin. It's going to help us a little bit with the cores down here. Okay, so yeah, our economy made a pretty decent recovery from that whole particularism thing, so we're pretty much okay. If there's anything else I can decrease, of course, I'd be more than happy to do so. I think all of our rebellions are actually doing okay. Surprisingly enough. Oh, that's a little loud still. Okay. Let's also do the time check. Make sure I'm not going over. I hate going over. You guys know that at this point. But we're also already at 29 minutes roughly. So unfortunately, we do have to put a cut in today's episode. Hopefully you did enjoy me going on the brink of insanity for the first little bit of the episode, trying to annex absolutely everything in that war. If I was left alone to my own devices without recording, I probably would have caused a giant whoops, a giant oops. Create a giant problem here for ourselves. Fortunately, though, I gained approximately 3 brain cells while recording, so hopefully that doesn't, you know, turn into something bad in the future. But anyways, this is Quarbit signing off, and as always, have a fantastic day.